What's up, everybody? My name is Billy Blunts. I will be doing a review of the Virgin Voyage that I took with my cousin Paulie. We sailed out of Miami on the Scarlet Lady, hitting up Belize City, Roatan, Honduras, as well as the private island in Bimini, Bahamas. We started off basically on the pool deck area. Everybody was waiting for the sail away party because if you know about it, then you know that they're going to give out free champagne. So everybody was kind of lining up near the bars, getting ready for their free glasses of champagne, which I'm not going to lie, we did as well.
Toasting to you naughty sailors. So, grab a glass of those tiny bubbles, soak in the view, and get to know your happenings fast. It's almost time to set sail!
So we did our research and found out there were definitely themed parties on the ship. The first one being the pajama party, the same night as the sail away. I had to go as my boy Scooby Doo. Pajama party was awesome. The only negative side about it was the space. They put it in the back of the ship where the net is, so that cut off a decent amount of the floor. There was a lot of like lounge chairs, and if you know about the back area, the whole back area is basically just lounge chairs. So it's just finding a space to dance in was kind of hard. Moving around was kind of hard. But I mean, it definitely set the vibe, and there was the sexy people, there was the goofy people like myself, and it was just everybody did their thing. It was a great time. And as you can see here, at some point, a lady pulled me into the dance circle. Uh, and it wasn't until at the end I realized when I got pulled back into the circle, it was by a man. So it was kind of one of those, you just got to be careful who you shake it in front of, I guess, you know? The next party was kind of like a 90s Y2K party. They dropped the ball and did the whole countdown thing to the Y2K movement. We ended up not getting a lot of footage on this, but we did obviously go as Dumb and Dumber. It was such a good call because it was kind of a glass breaker for everybody, and everybody just kind of knew us from that point on. The following day was kind of funny. We checked out the private karaoke club thing they have down there. You sign up and just kind of do your own thing. Some sweet lady stole us and was warming up for her karaoke night that night. So she gave us our own personalized version of the "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston. It was amazing. She was so sweet. So our first stop was Belize City. Initially, it was supposed to be Costa Maya, Mexico, but they had some damage to their dock, so we had to switch, I believe, like a week or two out. So we really didn't know much about Belize City. We just decided to hoof it and just kind of see what was out there and walk the streets, which was probably not the best choice. And if I do recommend anything, I would say at least get an excursion if you're going to Belize City. They had a great time. I saw a bunch of videos of sharks and stingrays from others. But basically, right when we left the port, it was just nonstop people asking us if we needed any weed or girls. Pretty much the whole time we walked around in Belize. The next stop up was Roatan, Honduras, which was probably one of my favorite spots. Absolutely beautiful. Seemed like any excursion that you chose to do, everybody that I talked to had a fantastic time here. We ended up doing the snorkel excursion, Starfish Alley, and a little shipwreck area. It started off obviously bussing up to the area. They ended up stopping off on the side of the mountain to take great pictures from what they call the view. There will be a couple of little tiny shops up there if you want to bring some money and help those sweet ladies out. We then came to a nice little beach area where we had to just hang out and wait for a little bit until the following group got back with the boat, which gave us time to kind of enjoy the scenery, hang out, grab a couple of drinks and some beef empanadas that came with the excursion, and kind of just vibed out. And luckily, while we were hanging out, I got to chill with this cool island cat. Kind of just came over, rubbed up against my cousin's leg without him knowing it was there, scared the crap out of him. But then, of course, I spent probably the next 5 minutes hanging out and trying to make best friends with the cat. So that's a win. Fun fact, I probably have more video footage of this cat than the entire trip, but I had to shorten it down just a little bit for you. The beach was super clean. Water was crystal clear. Everything was just so peaceful and relaxing. And we just kind of chilled walking through the water, enjoying the tranquility, if you will. Enjoying the blue skies, the sound of the soft waves, really just taking in the moment. Then we found a dock, and our inner child said, ooh, 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 and we had to obviously go jump off of it. Shortly after that, the boat arrived, we all packed up, headed out to sea, and continued our excursion. Please enjoy the footage. just wanted to take the time to shout out Mr. Eddie Ma, who is the gentleman that was in charge of our excursion for this trip. Super, super down to earth kind of guy. Just really cool all around, dude. He was actually really nice enough to grab my camera and go down as close to the shark as he could just to get some footage for me. And I love the fact that he respected the wildlife so much. Shout out to Eddie Ma. Thank you, brother. The last stop on the cruise was Bimini, private island in the Bahamas. Extremely beautiful. The water is probably the bluest I've seen. Very peaceful. Everybody's more of a local, chill vibe. Pretty sure everybody knows everybody. The island itself is not that very big. We ended up getting some golf carts and probably drove back and forth 4 or 5 different times from north to south, and still had plenty of time left over to kind of waste. So it's not much to see, but what you do see is absolutely beautiful. To me, it was basically two parts of the island. There was the side we started off with more of the views and just quiet to yourself type feel. And then there was the other side, which had the beach club and that had the huge pool and a bigger beach with a lot more people, if you were looking for that kind of vibe as well. As we were walking on the quiet side of the beach, we came across a cool little boat wreck that seems to have been there for a little while. Snapped a couple of pictures and kind of headed off to the beach club. When we pulled up to the beach area, we just had to park the golf cart in their private yard and just walk through the pool area, head to the beach, and just kind of chilled out and hung out in the waves for a while. We ended up with a beautiful day. It was a little windy, but it really wasn't that bad. The water was warm. The waves were kind of a little crazy, but that just made it that much more fun. And as Polly Wally runs into the water, that's pretty much the end of the video footage that I have. Just remember, enjoy the times that you have in this life. Be nice to each other. And don't forget to travel. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of footage of Scarlet Night due to my costume restrictions, but without a doubt, this was the best night on the cruise. Everybody was dressed to their best in their red outfits. I met so many great people that night. It really was a party that kind of put the stamp on the cruise. As well as jumping into the pool with the costume on 2 times because we couldn't get the phone to work. Carissa, still waiting on that footage, girl. And that was my first Virgin voyage. As I sat looking out the window in the port of Miami, sipping on my last coffee, I would definitely do this again. And just remember, don't forget to laugh. Thanks for watching the video and be good, everybody.